Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another episode of Learn to Play Games. My name is Lance, and we're here today at Adepticon 2017. This is day 3, and we're all getting pretty tired, and our voices sound pretty rough. But I'm here with Jonathan and Heath, and we're going to be taking a look at Wonder, the Cult of Barnacle Bay. Yeah. And so, guys, this is a brand new game that you're developing. Yep. It's at prototype stage now, and you're looking to bring it to Kickstarter possibly sometime later this year.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, can you tell me a little bit about what the game is exactly?
So Wander is a universe that we use. It's a fantasy universe with animal creatures. We like to think easy way to describe it is Zootopia meets Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
It's a really quick reference to two big things people really like, and we just kind of mash it together in this fun little, almost Saturday morning cartoon type of feel.
Okay. And so this is a fully cooperative dungeon crawler.
Yes.
Okay.
So Barnacle Bay is the story behind it. Barnacle Bay was a once peaceful fisherman's village that got taken over by the cult leader, Elder Bane.
Okay.
Elder Bane and his cult has taken over the city of Barnacle Bay, and they have turned the inhabitants into these monstrous creatures. So the peaceful bears of the town that are once the loyal guard are now turning into these corrupted bear sharks berserking through the city. The fishermen were the otter people. The otters were the fishermen of the town. Now they're going crazed, growing these crab arms, pinching people to death. Mm-hmm. All sorts of fun like that. We got the local monks of the church. They've grown the rabbits with tentacle arms throwing spikes at us from every direction. We don't have it here today, but we're going to have the bat casters, a bat-fish caster hybrid, throwing like poison miasmas around. It's a crazy town, and we are playing heroes from the Wanderers Guild that have come to Barnacle Bay to try to save the town and return it to its former glory. So the game is a completely co-op board game dungeon crawl, 1 to 5 players. Mm-hmm. You completely work against the AI. We wanted to make sure you were working against the game, and we're never having to. The game is at us at every turn.
Okay.
And if you don't work together, you're going to get your head gnawed on by a giant bear shark.
Okay. So how long have you guys been working on this game?
The board game or Wander itself?
Well, both.
Wander itself, this was Heath's baby. You may want to go into that.
Yeah, so Wander is a project. It's one of those, so when I was in art school, I had a concept art class, and I remember they were saying, come up with a couple of characters that you would want to turn into a big project. So I remember going like, well, I've always liked Disney movies like Robin Hood and stuff like that. So I made a bunch of anthropomorphic designs for heroes, and then I didn't really do much with it, but I've always loved that concept. Mm-hmm. So after I got into this industry and started doing concept art professionally, I got to a certain point where I realized, wait, I love these characters. Mm-hmm. I know sculptors. I know video people. I know miniature painters. Why don't I just get a miniature line started up and running?
Okay.
So what happened is back in 2016, around July, the Kickstarter to get that miniature line funded finally came through with enough money to get 2 stretch goals done as well. Which
we were only hoping for 5 miniatures. And we ended up getting 7 out of it, which was a huge ordeal for us. It was really awesome because we didn't know what to expect. It was kind of to test the waters, to see what people thought. They were like, hey, we think this cool. What does the industry think? And it was a great response.
Yeah, we got an absolutely amazing feedback. But once we started doing it, the number one question we got was, besides, can you put my cat into the game? is, when are you guys going to put this into a game?
Exactly, yeah.
So then the thoughts started rattling around in our heads, and it's like, well, what?
We immediately went to the drawing board.
Yeah.
Okay.
Immediately went to the drawing board, and we started going back what the setting would be. We'd gone over several iterations, something we felt like we haven't seen is the fisherman's village type setting. I've always had a fascination with stuff like that. Very inspired by Shadows over Innsmouth.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it.
Definitely.
There's a ton of Cthulhu games, which is a great thing, but I feel like Dagon, not really like madness and tentacle monsters everywhere, more of like the deep is what we wanted to go for. And we just thought of all these different fun, crazy ideas for all these different characters. There was even times we would literally take 2 D100 sheets of lists of animals and lists of fantasy classes and just roll dice and see if it came out something cool.
That's awesome.
It was just a fun process. And then we were just like, all right, so what would be in this fisherman's village? And we started thinking, well, otters like to fish, right? And they're like, so what would be going wrong with these otters? And then went from there.
Okay.
And we decided... one of the core mechanics of the game I really wanted from the beginning is I wanted to create a board game that had a multi-leveled system that almost felt like a video game where you can go up above ground, come below ground, and you have to you can't just go from above ground to below ground tile. You're going to have to go underground in one tile, flip that tile over, and then connect to the other. And that was the core idea we went with. And we just decided that it would be a cult taking over a church, and under the church there's these huge catacombs taking under the city, where the real chaos is happening, and that's where the Wanderers are going to have to get through to try to save the city.
Very cool. So let's go ahead and take a look at what this game looks like. We're going to cover some of the things. A couple of things to keep in mind, though, is at early stage prototypes. So some of the things you guys may see will change potentially. And some of the other things, these are just prototype minis, again, that are hand cast. So obviously the ones that will come in the final set will be a lot better detail-wise than that. But let me tell you, as of where we stand right now, these minis are fantastic. If you guys love minis, this is a game you're definitely going to want to check out. So let's go ahead and take a look.
All right, so this is the intro scenario for Barnacle Bay. The Wanderers Guilds have shown up. They're trying to find their way into the city. They've heard through secret rumors that there is a entrance to the city through the underground catacombs. The problem is, if you're looking at the board, it looks like you should just be able to walk over and move your way down here. But the problem is you cannot go from an above-ground tile to an underground tile. This tile is actually under the ground, and you're not able to just move from one to the other. So what the Wanderers are going to have to do is get their way over, move around, fight all these bad guys as they go through, and actually get to this underground ladder tile token. And once they've cleared all the bad guys, get to the ladder, then we'll be able to flip this tile over and show what the underground looks like, and then it will connect. All right, so at the beginning of the game, and always at the beginning of a new active area, you lay out your initiative cards. You have one initiative card for each active player, for each player in the game, and also an initiative card for each enemy on the board. These cards will be shuffled and then dealt out in order. These cards will now show you what order will be taken in the game, when enemies go, when players go, and they will stay that way until players take special actions to change the initiative. So throughout the game, characters are going to move around spaces. Now, first thing you'll notice is the question mark dark spaces. This represents the darkness in the map. Elderbane has been shrouding the city with dark magic, and that's what these represent. You can move into these spaces, but you do not know what's inside until you go in. When you move into a dark space, you're going to have to flip over this tile. This symbol means you found an event. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. For example, this event, you flip over, we got Lady of the Puddle. You see a siren looking back at you through a magical puddle. You roll your knowledge. If you look at Tank's card, Tank actually is not that bright of a turtle. He's going to have to roll knowledge and see how many successes he gets. If he only gets one success, bad things are going to happen. If he gets good success, there's always good results. So if I rolled poorly, I would be a silly, stupid turtle try to attack a puddle. The puddle will spray water back at me. I would get knocked over, and I would take 1 damage. There's several events throughout this game. We plan to have enough events where you can go through an entire campaign and never see the same event twice. Sometimes they're really brutal. Sometimes you actually find good items. So one of the most basic actions in this game is attacking. As in most games, you end up rolling dice. When Tank's attacking, he's going to choose where he's attacking. Melee attacks can be done one space away, and he's going to attack this grunt. If you look at Tank's weapon, his hammer, he rolls 3 dice, and it shows it needs axes for success. All right, so Tank's going to go and roll his dice. He actually got 2 successes and a critical. Criticals in this game are always explosive, meaning he gets to roll an additional die. This one is a miss. That is 3 successes going towards the Otter Grunt. The Otter Grunt has 1 defense, meaning he automatically blocks one of his successes. So the Otter Grunt will actually only take 2 damage. So now it is the Grunt's turn to attack him. By looking at the initiative order, we can tell it's the Grunt's turn. Grunts are going to attack. On the Grunt card, we can see that they only do 1 damage. All attacks by enemies in this game are automatic successes. All you have to do is roll your defense. We wanted to make sure you are not rolling for enemies. You're only rolling your own dice. So if you look at Tank, he has 2 defense on his card, 1 extra defense plus his shield, so that's 3 dice, and I'm looking for shield symbols. He rolled 1 shield symbol out of all of his dice, meaning he blocked the damage completely. All right, and also our big infamous bear shark that people were talking about, he is going to now be his turn. No attacks in this game are diagonals, they're all orthogonal. When a monster attacks and activates, they always move 1 space to get into position to attack, and then attack. If they're already within the range to attack, they will not move. So the bear's going to move and then attack Tank. The bear shark does 2 damage automatically, so now Tank has 2 defense to block. And Tank blocked 1 of them, and tank has to take 1 damage.
Alright guys, so we're going to take a close-up of some of the models that are included in the game. And again, these are just prototypes, so keep that in mind. But here we have the really cool, nice, big bear shark. He is absolutely terrifying, and let me tell you, he plays just as nasty in the game. I've played against these guys, and they are absolutely brutal. But absolutely beautiful miniature, really nice sculpt, and as you can see, just massive jaws. Alright, so here we have one of the otter fishermen. Again, really nice detail. This one's a little bit darker, so you might not be able to see all the detail, but I will get better shots of him. And all of these miniatures have been sculpted by Patrick Heath. He did an absolutely fantastic job on these. So this is the otter fisherman again. Alright, and here we have the rabbit zealots. So these are the ranged attack guys that you guys will be facing and are going to cause all kinds of problems for your heroes as soon as they step within these guys' line of sight. And again, just another really nice sculpt on this. And last we have the heroes. I'm not going to get super detailed on these because they had to rush and prime these guys up real quick, so it did take away a little bit of the detail. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys more of these later on as we get different sculpts of them. But these are the 5 heroes that are going to be included in the base set. And you have, over on the far side here, you have the ranger. Then you have the tank, the wizard, warrior, and finally the thief. And we're going to take a closer look at these guys in later videos. Alright, so I hope that gives you guys a basic idea of how the game is going to play a little bit. We're going to do some more videos in the future to show you guys more in depth of all the different things that this game has to offer. Let me tell you though, as an early game, this is really cool. I've had a chance to play a couple of scenarios so far. Had an absolute blast playing this. I cannot wait for this game to hit Kickstarter and support it and to have this sucker come to me in the mail. It is an absolute blast, and at this point right now, I would say this is probably one of my top picks for 2017. I cannot wait to show you guys this game. So. On top of that, there's a couple of things I want to point out real quick. So first off, they successfully had their first Kickstarter with the hero miniatures in it, and you can head over to their website, which you're going to find a link to that down below, to pick those up, and they actually will come with their own playable cards. And they are going to have different sculpts in the main set, so this is a way for you guys to have a couple different sculpts for your main heroes. So definitely come by, check their site out, give them a little bit of support and love as they are trying to embark on this adventure to bring this awesome board game to us. So until next time, stay tuned. We're going to be covering more of this game, and we'll see you guys later. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much for having us.
It's been a blast.
Yeah, absolutely.